Okay, this is the remaining problems from the exam one, the practice. Now, I can't show both screens. I can't show you the actual exam and this TI calculator. So please, before you begin even watching this, make sure you have number 17 and 19 and 20. Have the last two sheets in front of you as I explain this. Before I even start, on number 9, I just noticed when I was finding the class boundaries, the upper class boundary number 9, you add 5 tenths. I think I put down 0.05. I added 59 and point 0.5 and got 59.5, but somehow, as I was looking at it, instead of putting take 59 and add point 0.5, 5 tenths, I put the 0.05, which is incorrect. You subtract 5 tenths from the lower, add 5 tenths. I did the right answer, but somehow I messed it up. All right. So, number 17, here's the deal. Whenever you're presented with a frequency distribution, you've got waiting times here and number of customers. Well, you've got 15 people that had a waiting time between 0 and 3 minutes. All right, what you need to do is get an exact value. And how you get an exact value, you find the midpoint of this first class. It's the low plus the high. 0 plus 3, midpoint, cut that in half. You get 1.5. Now, if you look at the class width between 0 and 4 is 4, between 4 and 8 is 4, 12 and 16 is 4. Takes 27 to subtract 3. The class width is 4. So after I have that first midpoint, I added 0 plus 3, got 3, cut it in half, I got 1.5. All I need to do now is to find the other midpoints, keep adding the class width. 4 more than 1.5 is 5.5. 4 more than 5.5 is 9.5. 4 more, 13.5, and so forth. So what I want to do, in fact, let me quit out of this. To put these into a list, I want to hit Stat. The very first option is Edit. And then I'm going to put my midpoints in. First midpoint is 1.5. I'll put my midpoints all in first, and then I'll do my occurrences. 5.5. And then we've got what? 9.5, followed by 13.5, followed by 17.5. And 4 bigger than 17.5 is 21.5. See, by adding the class width, you don't have to add the low and the high and divide by 2. Class width will be consistent. And then 25.5. All right, so hopefully got those all in. And just to be careful here, let me go to my mode. I want to make sure my mode is set to at least, I want to say 3 places. I don't want to set it at 0. I want to set it at 3 places. Second function, and I'll quit out of this. Once again, to change the number of decimal places, go to mode, and right here where it says float, I would advise keeping it set at 3 or 4 places. You don't want to definitely not set it at 0. 1 and 2, what will determine how many places you set your decimal places to is the answers. If all the answers have 4 decimal places, then you want to make sure that this is set to 4. If they have only 3, maybe set it at 3. It saves you the hassle of rounding off. So let me go back to my stat, my edit, and I've got my midpoints. Now I want to put my frequencies. That first class number of customers was 15, and followed by 9, and then 11, and then 6, and then 5. Notice it's putting in 3 decimal places, 3 and then 1. All right, looks pretty good. Then I go back to stat again. I go over to calculate, and I'm looking for the mean. All right, so one variable stat, and my list is in L1. My frequencies, all right, frequencies. I've got a frequency distribution. I've got my midpoints in my list 1. My frequencies were in list 2. So I'm going to tell the calculator, go to list 2 for my frequencies. How do I get to list 2? It's the second function of the 2 key. So it's the second function. Press the 2 key. All right. And then simply come down to calculate. And you're looking for your mean time. Your mean time is right there at the very top. Your X bar is your mean. In this case, see if you look at your answer sheet, 8.7 is letter D for number 17. Letter D. There it is. Well, you can't see it because you can't see the paper. All right. Number 19, if you have your sheet in front of you, He's asking us for the variance. All right. So let me go back to stat, click edit. I want to clear both these lists. I'm going to go above this line and press clear. I don't want to hit delete. I want to hit clear. Press enter. That list is gone. Go to the first list, go above the horizontal line and press clear. All right. And hit enter. Now, if some reason you had some numbers, let's say in a list, let's say you had, maybe 4 numbers here. You wanted to clear this off. You would go above the line here. And let's say, for instance, you instead of hitting clear, you hit delete. Well, what happens? You get rid of list 1. To get it back, go to stat, come down to setup editor, press enter and enter again. Now when you go back to stat, edit, you see your list 1 is back there. So I want to clear this. I don't want to delete it, clear it. All right, what are the numbers? Here again, having number 19 in front of you. You want the variance of this data set. 6.6. Here again, I get 3 places. That's not a big deal. I'd rather have more places than less places. 8.5. And my third number is 4.6. And my fourth number is 1.7. And my last number is 2.4. All right, I get all my numbers in. I'm going to go to stat. I'm going to go to calculate. 1 variable stat. This is the only thing we really use in this calculator menu is this very first option, 1 variable stat. Press enter. Now, I don't have any frequency. All right, all I have is 1 set of numbers. I don't have a frequency distribution where I've got midpoints in one list and frequencies in another list. So I'm going to clear that off. I only have 1 list. My values are in list 1. I suggest using list 1 all the time because if you use list 5 and 6, sometimes you forget where the numbers were. Calculate. Now, the variance is the square of the standard deviation. There is no menu item that lists the variance. It will list the standard deviation. It's S of X here. So I want to be able to square that. 2.843. 2.483, and I want to square that. Hitting enter, I come up with 6.165, and I'm looking at I'm off by a little bit here. I wonder why. I'm getting 6 point, let us see, number 19. 19, what the heck happened? 19, letter B. And let me go back to my list here. And let's see if I made a mistake. 6.6, 8.5, 4.6, 1.7, and 2.4. And 1 variable stat. I think I've got so many different places here. Stat, calculate, 1 variable stat. My values are in list 1. And standard deviation. Let me see if I take 2.8. Make that a little less accurate. And square that, 2.8. Yeah, I'm coming up with something. Well, this is interesting. All right, go back to 2.843. 2.843. And square that. All right, there it is. Somehow I put a wrong number in there. It happens. All right, it happens. I must have put the wrong standard deviation. 2.843, that's what it was. And squaring that, you're going to get 8.08, letter B. All right, sorry for that confusion. Creating these videos isn't always the easiest thing, but we hang in there and we get through it. All right, so that's a better. Taking the variance is the square of the standard deviation. The calculator doesn't give you the variance all by itself. All right, so number 21. Once again, 21. Yeah, once again is a frequency distribution, and he's looking for the standard deviation. All right, so I need to put these values in, but now here again, I need to use the midpoints. Whenever I have a frequency distribution, I need midpoints. So I'm going to go above the line. I'm going to hit clear, hit enter, and put in my midpoints, which is a very similar to the previous one we did. I guess it was back in number 17. There's one less frequency. So 1.5, 5.5, 9.5, 13.5, and what do we got here? 13, 17, 5, and 21, 5. All right, now the frequencies. Frequencies were 9 for the first class, 16, 15. Here again, hope you have your number 21 in front of you. 15, 8, 0, and 2. 8, 0, and 2. All right, looks pretty good. Hopefully no careless mistakes. Go to stat, go to calculate, one variable stat. Now I've got some frequencies. It's a frequency distribution. Yes, I've got frequencies. All right, so my frequencies are in list 2. So it's the second function, press the 2 key. There it is, list 2. Come down to calculate, and we're looking for the standard deviation. Standard deviation here is 4.78 rounded to the nearest whole number. It's going to be 4.8. 4.7, right here, standard deviation, 4.78 rounded to the next. Highest tenth would be 4.8, and that would be your letter C. All right. Okay. All right, so I want to move on to, I think it's the very last problem. This was number, the one I just got done doing was number 21, letter C, 4.8. All right. If you've got your homework in front of you, number 25. Yeah, I could do this manually. All right, I could find, well, the low number I know is 25. The highest number is 98. But if you look at that box plot, number 25, they all have a low of 25 and an upper of 98. It's the first quartile, second quartile, and third quartile. The guaranteed way of getting this correct, is to put these numbers into a list. Now, there's a bunch of them. All right, there are 40 numbers, but you can guarantee yourself you get it right. You can do it manually, and I'll talk about that maybe on one of the Zoom meetings. But the guaranteed way of getting it right is to, I'm going to clear these off. Let me go back here, hit enter. Go to my right, go above, and hit clear, and then hit enter. All right, my lists are all cleared up. It's time consuming, but you can guarantee yourself you're going to get the right answer. So let me go downhill, so to speak. We do the columns instead of the rows. So 25, got it. 59, 72, 81. That's the first list, first column, excuse me. 35, 62, 73, and 82. That's the numbers in the second column. Third column, 43, 63, 43, 63, 74, and 83. All right. Fourth column, 44 and 65, 44, 65, 76, 85. All right, that's the fourth. 47 and 66, 47, 66, 77 and 89, 77 and 89. And that is the fourth. So we're halfway home. 48 and 68. 48, 68. 77 and 92. 77 and 92. All right, let's see. Fifth, three more to go. 54 and 69. 54, 69. And we've got what? 78 and 93. All right. And you can see we've got 28 numbers in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So you got 28 numbers already in 7 columns, 4 columns. 55. Good way of kind of keeping track of if you haven't missed any numbers. 69, 79, and 94. And this is number 9, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 56, 71, followed by 80 and 97. And one more column to go. You can probably do this a lot faster than I'm doing it here. 57, 72, 81, and 98. 81 and 98. All right, first thing I realized, my next number is going to be 40, my 41st number. That means I've got 40 numbers in there. Hopefully they're all correct. Now, here's what we need to do. I need to go to stat, go to calculate, one variable stat. All right, I don't have any frequency distributions. I want to clear this off. I have no frequency list, no frequency distribution, only one list of numbers. Hit calculate. And now what I'm looking for, well, I know the smallest number was 50. Sorry, I know the smallest number was 25. There is the minimum. Now, what I'm looking for a box plot is these three values. We knew the smallest one was 25. We knew the largest number was 98. A, B, C, and D all have that. It's quartile 1. Quartile 1 is 58. So it's not letter A, nor is it letter B, because they have quartile 1 as 57. Letter C and letter D both have the first quartile at 58. C has a median at 72. D has the median at 77. But yeah, 72. There it is. There's your median. So I know it's letter C. And then the quartile 3 is 81 for both B, C, and D. So the problem was C and D differed because 72 was the median for C, 77 was the median for letter D. According to this, the median is 72. Yeah, you could have done it a different way, but it took a little while. I went slowly. I got all 40 numbers. But the thing is, I'm guaranteed to get the right answer because the calculator gives me all the 5 values I need. I didn't need to know the smallest one. I knew that was 25. I didn't need to know the largest was 98. It's quartile 1, the median, and quartile 3. Now, median is also called quartile 2. But the calculator will give me all the right answers if I take the time to put those into the list. Okay, hope that helps.